join us on Nationwide today, reaching you live on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguele. Let's begin with TIAT 7. Nigeria's outing at the just concluded 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TIAT 7, has been described as critical and fruitful, with President Muhammadu Buhari and state governors holding a series of engagements on the sidelines to woo investors and showcase Nigeria's potential. Experts on NTA Good Morning Nigeria say the gains may not be immediate, but the low-hanging fruits can quickly be harvested. Leader Samson reports.
Nigeria's delegation to the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TIAT 7, apart from stealing the show as the largest African contingent in Japan, was able to attract huge Japanese investments across critical sectors of the economy. Beyond the high-level discussions and diplomacy, guests on Good Morning Nigeria advocates diligent follow-up to harness the various commitments made.
So therefore, we gain a lot from assisting the federal government and also taking home a lot of things that will also help, especially like the assurance of the assistance of a loan of about 300 million to some states, $300 million to some states.
The engagements Mr. President had with other African leaders were also very, very critical. The President also met with the Japanese Prime Minister and also witnessed the signing of an agreement with EU as part of the EU's assistance to Nigeria to help cater for the IDPs.
At the end of it all, I believe that Nigeria got a good bouquet for itself, and Africa got even a larger one. It was well worth it.
While TIAT 7 in Yokohama, Japan was described as an improvement of TIAT 6 in Nairobi, Kenya, the guests see the platform as veritable in building investors' confidence on Nigeria.
The critical factor that Nigeria needed for quite some time is confidence of the international community in the country. The presence of Mr. President in such a meeting has enhanced the confidence of countries, Japan, the rest of the international community, the European Union in the country to come and transact business with us.
So Africa has become the next frontier. This is where the world is coming to, and that's because of what we have. Whether domestic or international politics, it's always about position, interest, and needs of the players and actors involved. So apparently you will have every state actor trying to pull strings to see how it can benefit from whatever conversation, whatever treaty.
There was also advocacy for Nigeria to quickly develop its potential for other countries to aspire for our capacities in mutually beneficial relationships. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And reports just coming in says the Supreme Court has dismissed the perjury case against President Muhammadu Buhari. We'll bring you details of this in our subsequent bulletin. In other news, a coalition of civil society organizations in Nigeria has asked the UK government to intervene in the $9.6 billion ruling against Nigeria. Leaders of the coalition made the demand during a protest staged at the British Commission and the Embassy of Ireland in Abuja. Onainge Fineface reports.
August 16, 2019, the British Commercial Court in a judgment awarded $9.6 billion to Process and Industry Development, P&ID, against the government of Nigeria for alleged breach of gas supply processing agreement with the NNPC. Several reactions have trailed this judgment against Nigeria. This protest by a coalition of civil society organizations is the latest of those reactions. The protest is informed by the understanding that $9.6 billion translates to 3.5 trillion naira, which constitutes 20% of Nigeria's foreign reserves.
We have come to tell the ambassador and the British government that this judgment must be investigated. We cannot take it.
Allowing P&ID to seize $9.6 billion in Nigeria's assets, the coalition believes will greatly impact the economy of the nation and negatively affect all citizens of the country. They are at the Embassy of Ireland making similar demands.
We demand as follows. 1. The judgment by the commercial court in the UK is set aside, as it is evident that the judgment is ill-motivated and undermines the sovereignty of Nigeria as a nation. Nigerian government and the PID should go back to the position of the arbitration.
Members of the coalition insist that until their demands are met, they will continue to protest against this judgment. In Abuja, Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
Thank you, Onenge, for that situation report. Now let's talk agriculture. The federal government says it has put in place all necessary measures for the smooth takeoff of its agro-processing enhancement project being supported by the World Bank. The World Bank support project is to provide financial and technical assistance to farmers as well as enhance their capacity in processing and marketing of produce. Musa Baba Aliyu has more.
60,000 youth and 360,000 farmers are to participate in the World Bank support project designed to upscale agricultural productivity, processing and export. The World Bank is providing $200 million for the project, while the federal government and 6 participating states will pay counterpart funds. The states are Kogi, Cross River, Lagos, Kaduna, Kano and Enugu. Consequently, registration and screening of youth who will benefit from the project has been flagged off in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital.
Kogi state is the first among the 6 states to have concluded that, and we are starting the interview from Kogi. By the end of that, we'll be able to recommend to the National Coordinating Office and subsequently to the World Bank the number that can go for training.
The money meant for this project is not allocated to each state. It's in a pool, and the higher you perform, the more money you get. We cannot draw lesser amount from that pool of funds. So we have to make sure that we are at our best and make sure that we execute this project accordingly.
Nana Aisha Nasuru, a graduate of University of Abuja, is among the youth that are willing to key into the agricultural program. Her dream, she says, is to be one of the agro merchants in near future.
No, concerning the appeals project, I was not asked to pay a dime.
Nana Aisha and other 1,000 youth screened will be sent for training on rice, cassava, cashew, cocoa and livestock production. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And on to security, the Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, has charged troops of Sector 3 in Gubio, Borno State, to be focused and ensure rapid clearance of the remnant of Boko Haram. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the minister gave the charge while on operational visit to Borno State.
The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, is in the Command and Control Base, Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. His mission is to appraise the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. After a closed-door interaction with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, principal officers and commanders, the minister proceeded to Magumeri and Gubio, General Area of Responsibility in northern Borno, where he urged troops of Sector 3 not to be deterred.
Whatever you need and carry you this job, I assure you the Nigerian government is prepared ever before to do the kind of thing that will make you more motivated to do this job. Am I understood?
Socio-economic activities has resumed in Gubio town after recent repel attack. But residents appealed for deployment of more troops to further secure the agrarian community. The minister later inspected ongoing rehabilitation of structures at the super camp in Chabang and visited recuperating troops at the medical center in Malari Cantonment. The visit of the minister to the theater command, Magumeri and Gubio General Area of Responsibility, is his first major military engagement as the new Minister of Defense. From the headquarters of Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Let's go on a break now. Nationwide continues shortly. Stay tuned.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is village master tune.
So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village master is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village Master family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our golden jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October, 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Good to have you stay tuned. Benue State University, Makurdi, have been shut down indefinitely following an early morning protest by the students over the non-reversal of the grading system by the authority as directed by the National Universities Commission. Sewese Agu reports.
The peaceful protests by the students along the major highway leading to eastern parts of the state and some southeast states. All the entrances leading into the university premises were barricaded by the protesting students. The students alleged that the Nigerian Universities Commission, NUC, had directed all universities to reverse to the initial grading system of 5 points as against the current grading system of 4 points, which the Benue State University authorities were yet to comply.
How about those in the labor market with past degree? What are they going to do with it now that past degree has been cut off?
Students have been withdrawn because of that 4-point grading system. We want them to look at a policy that will favor the students.
Most of the students now are on third class simply because of the 4 points, and other universities are still using the 5 points.
Reacting, Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Msu Moses Kembe, says, following the directives of the NUC, the university has set up a committee to address the situation before the students' protests.
The committee has concluded assignment. The report is going to be presented in the next Senate, which is 3 days from now, to take a decision on that. And the decision was really going to be in favor of the students.
The university authority says it was forced to take the action as the students closed all the entrances to the campuses. In Makurdi, Sewesi Agu, NTA News.
In other news, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mele Kolo-Kyari, has debunked reports of explosion on the Abuja crude trunk line operated by the corporation at the O2 Jeremy Town in Ughelli, Delta State. A statement from the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Undu Uhamadu, says the incident was a mere rupture on one of the pipeline, which would be fixed within 3 days. The GMD says NNPC have since contained the spill coming out of that pipeline, stressing that there was no fire anywhere on the pipeline, so there is no cause for alarm. Mele Kyari assured that the incident would have no impact on the nation's power supply and urged the host communities within the area to disregard the rumor. Let's go to road matters now. The Federal Road Safety Corps is alerting road users along Kefi, Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon, Lafia, Makurdi Road that the construction company in charge of the ongoing dualization project on the road will be blasting off some rocks along the Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon axis of the route today. A statement by BC Kazim, the Corps Public Education Officer, stated that the operation blast will begin from 10 a.m. and would end at 5 p.m. During the periods, commuters are advised to use the alternative avenue profiled to avoid being hit by the flying rocks. To ensure a smooth movement along the routes, the Corps Marshal Dr. Boboye Oyemi has directed the deployment of operatives of the Corps to man the area to direct motorists and make easy flow of traffic. And still on roads, let's get situation report on the diversion of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway with Michael Olale for details. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. The diversion of traffic into 2 lanes at the Bega-Kara Bridge axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to allow for reconstruction of the 600-meter road has commenced. Although traffic is piling up, but management agencies are not leaving anything to chance to allow for free flow of traffic. Our Yusuf Jibo reports.
Following the announcement by the federal government to announce reconstruction work on the Bega-Kara Bridge axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the contractor started diversion of the road at the early hours of today. For motorists traveling to Lagos, the diversion starts from the Kara Bridge. As expected, this development is invariably affecting traffic flow, but the prompt response of traffic management agencies have helped to douse the impact.
Vehicles that are coming into Lagos to share the lane that outward Lagos is using. You can see how it has been clearly delineated, such that 2 lanes still come into Lagos and 2 lanes still go out of Lagos.
You see the police personnel also to provide adequate security. They are fully on ground. And then compliance, we may not be able to assess it for now, until the completion of the diversion.
We will ensure that our traffic personnel are on the road to ensure that there is smooth movement of vehicles on the road.
Motorists, commuters, and community members around Kara Bridge commended the federal government on the project.
Expansion of the road is of a good advantage to Lagos State because it will boost the economy. You look at the rate of accidents that happen on this road every day, it will reduce.
If they complete the work, you make the road linking to the south and Benin Road to make the movement today fast for everybody to go in movement without delay.
Meanwhile, the construction, according to the Federal Ministry of Works, will last 2 months. Motorists plying the route have been advised to seek alternative routes like Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, Shagamu-Ikorodu Road, or Ijebu-Ode-Itokin Road to navigate their ways. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria and the United Bank of Africa to take over an Ikoyi property of a former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, over an alleged debt of 537.3 million naira. Abolore Ogbara as the court proceedings.
The Federal High Court in Lagos made the takeover order in an August 8, 2019 ruling by Justice Chuka Obiozor. The order was pursuant to an ex parte application filed and argued by an AMCON and UBA counsel, Benson Reeds. Listed as first to the third defendants were Stone Edge Investments Limited, Donald Duke, and Owanari Bob Manuel Duke, respectively. The applicants had prayed the court for an order of interim attachment, possession and custody of the property, being number 3 Temple Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. They also prayed the courts for an interim injunction to take possession of funds in the account of Duke and others in any bank pending the disposal of proceedings for the recovery of a debt of 537.3 million naira made up of the principal debt and interest against the respondents pursuant to Section 50 of AMCON Act 2010. Respondent counsels told the court that they are ready to settle out of court and agreed to make payment of debt within 24 hours. The counsels, however, agreed on terms for payment. Justice Owebo adjourned the hearing to the 11th of September for report of settlement in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
A 3-day training to equip the next generation with requisite knowledge on emerging techniques in information and communication technology, ICT, has been concluded in Lagos. The event was organized by Live Your Dreams Africa in collaboration with the Nigerian Television Authority, Lagos Network Center. Abolore Ogbara reports.
In this new digital world, more than 80% businesses have their existence on the web. But many people are still unaware of benefits and importance of digital marketing. To this end, experts in information and communication technology, ICT, have disclosed techniques on how young entrepreneurs can improve their talents towards achieving a successful digital marketing.
Through this platform, we inspire people at our conferences, but we also empower them with business skills so they can learn technical skills, to create their own solutions and products to be able to thrive in businesses.
It's a foundation that has taken it upon themselves to empower youths, particularly in the area of unemployment, and to help them get skilled to go out there and get a job or be able to run a business and be sustainable in it.
It has helped a lot of lives, it has helped a lot of youths shaping their life, give them direction and give them optimal focus towards achieving what they are to achieve.
I know and I believe that I have the skills necessary to take on the digital marketing world. I have no doubt of that. I do not negate what I have been taught, nor disapprove of what I have been taught. And I believe that yes, there's potential in what we, the people that have graduated from here, experience.
The organizers of the training believe young entrepreneurs would be able to actualize their dreams through the development of innovative enterprises that would significantly impact on communities in Africa. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
Thus, a contribution from Lagos Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Michael. And from Lagos, we go to Osogbo. As residents of Osogbo and other communities affected by flood count their losses, Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola has appealed to the federal government to assist the state in combating flood disaster. Governor Oyetola made the appeal when he inspected some of the areas affected by the flood. Femi will tell us more.
It is the second time in 5 years that the state, and in particular Osogbo, we experienced flooding despite measures put in place by the immediate past administration to avert reoccurrence. Governor Oyetola, who defied the rain to assess the level of damage done by the floods in the state capital, assured residents that urgent steps are being taken to avert reoccurrence, and he also asked for federal government's intervention for a lasting solution.
With the support of the federal government, I believe we'll be able to tackle the flood. They send some people to come and inspect all these areas that are prone to flood in our state. I believe within the next 1 or 2 weeks, they'll be able to do something to assist us.
However, he expressed worry over people's attitude to refuse disposal, especially in water channel, despite measures put in place by his government. He advised people staying close to waterways to relocate for safety of their lives. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
And still on flooding, the National Emergency Management Agency has restated federal government's commitment to provide quick intervention for victims of flood disaster in Adamawa State. The Acting Director General, NEMA, Air Commodore Akugbe Yamu, stated this during a visit to areas affected by flood in Yola. Abdullahi Ayuba Delwa tells us more.
Heavy rain observed in the state has caused the loss of lives and destroyed valuable property worth millions of naira. This necessitated both the state and the federal government set a committee to visit some of the affected areas with a view to ascertain the level of damage.
This is our third time here this year. from National Emergency Management Agency. He is very passionate about the happenings and he follows it. So what we're going to do, thank the state government who is always giving us the support. Adamawa State Emergency Management is one of the most active and cooperative that we have around. So we'll work with them.
We are very grateful to the federal government for taking that quick decision to come and see by themselves. We appreciate what government is doing now.
Some victims appeal to both the state and federal government for quick assistance.
The flood was very, very tedious, and even there are 2 loss of life and many dislocations and injuries.
Some of the affected areas visited include Wauru Jabe, Damilu, and Bachure. In Yola, Abdullahi Ayubadalwa, NTA News.
In another development, the Daura community in Katsina State, which was hit by massive floods last week, will receive additional assistance from the National Emergency Management Agency. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says, contrary to the allegations that President Muhammadu Buhari has turned his back on the people of Daura, there is confirmation that pre-assessment relief materials were dispatched to the victims within 48 hours of the floods. The trailer loads of building materials, including zinc, planks, cement, blankets, mattresses, tons of grains, cereals and other edibles have so far been delivered and signed for by stakeholders, a gesture the Emir of Daura appreciated. NEMA has equally promised that as soon as the assessment of the damage to the flood-ravaged communities is reported, more food items and building materials would be dispatched to the communities. And in Sokoto, Chairman Zamfara Security Committee speaks on peace returning to Zamfara. These and more from our Sokoto Network Center, where Sadia Umar Digi is standing by. Hello, Sadia.
And welcome to Sokoto. A former Inspector General of Police and now Chairman Zamfara State Security Committee, Muhammad Dikwa Abubakar, says he is convinced that peace has returned to Zamfara following an accord reached between the state government and the bandits. He made the remark while speaking with NTA News in Gusau. Haliru Muhammad Umar reports.
The former Inspector General of Police and Chairman Security Committee for Zamfara State, Muhammad Dair Abubakar, said the state is now free from the security challenges.
The time of being scared is gone. Peace has returned. So Zamfara now being the farmer's pride, and at the same time, this is the solid mineral state. This is an opportunity for investors to come into the state and utilize the opportunity.
The former IGP said the bandits have agreed to live in peace because they too are not comfortable staying in the bush for years. He noted that the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Muhammad, is determined to bring lasting peace to the state and appealed to Nigerians to give him adequate support.
With what I have seen, there's every possibility in the next 4 years, things will surely be for the better.
The chairman of the Security Committee for Zamfara State, who emphasized that normalcy has been restored in all parts of the state, advised people wishing to visit the state to feel free. He promised that very soon the committee will round up its work and submit its report to the governor so that justice could be done to all regardless of tribal, ethnic and religious differences. From Gusau, Halir Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
More than 54,000 households are to benefit from federal government's cash transfer program in Zamfara State. Wife of Zamfara State Governor Hajia Bilkisu Bello Muhammad flagged off the training workshop for facilitators of the program from the benefited local government areas of the state. Muhammad Nasir has the report.
The federal government's cash transfer program is one of the components of the social investment program initiated by the Buhari administration with a view to reducing the level of poverty in the country. The program focuses on payment of monthly stipend to the beneficiaries as well as building their capacity to become self-reliant. More than 50,000 households are currently benefiting from the program in Zamfara State. The wife of the Zamfara State Governor Hajia Bilkisu Bello Muhammad, who flagged off the training for facilitators, expressed the commitment of the state government to support the program, considering its positive impact on the lives of the less privileged, especially the women. More than 600 million naira is to be expended for the implementation of the program monthly in the state.
The ministry is
a domicile ministry for this important program.
The program is being implemented in 27 states of the Federation. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasser, NTA News.
The Sokoto Rima River Basin Development Authority has distributed farm inputs and implements to farmer groups in Zauro Folder project in Kebbi State. The distribution is part of the federal government's commitment to sustainable food security in the country. Nuratan Kwokili has more.
These farmers are returning to their respective farms in high spirit, having overcome one of the critical challenges bedeviling their productive capacity. The water pumping machines, the power tillers, and the technical support from financial experts, insurance agency, and off-takers will translate into improved productivity if properly utilized.
Objectives of this government, headed by President Muhammad Buhari, is to develop the agricultural sector, because he has promised Nigerians that he is going to provide employment, and one of the easiest ways to provide employment to Nigerians, more especially in the north, is through providing assistance to farmers.
Professor Ahmad Allah expresses satisfaction with the level of progress recorded from the earlier supports and urges farmers to avail themselves of the opportunities. The Zauro Folder project has established and sustained relationship with farmer clusters in the area for enhanced production.
We hope that in the next 5-6 years that our farmers can proudly come out and stand like not even Chinese farmers. We want to beat Malaysian farmers.
Other stakeholders emphasize the need for federal government support packages to always be distributed to farmers across board, irrespective of their production capacity. In Birnin Kebbi, Nuratan Kwokili, NTA News.
Now that's all from Sokoto. It's now back to Ruth in Abuja for more news. Good evening.
Thank you, Sadia. The Industrial Training Fund has noted the possibility for Nigeria to own a central source of information on career and job opportunities, as well as the set skills required through a functional labor market system. Onange Fineface reports.
It is common to find thousands of graduates in Nigeria scramble for limited vacancies during recruitment exercises. Conversations in this stakeholder sensitization meeting, organized by the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, are focused on mitigating this gap between labor and the market through the collation, processing, and analysis of related data in what is known as labor market information system.
We should be able to have a well-coordinated, information in terms of labor market information that will drive our economy by way of skills, by way of addressing unemployment.
The system, if institutionalized in Nigeria, will help government to formulate viable labor policies, while individuals will be empowered to make productive career decisions.
Our emphasis on the young people, we are almost leaving the stage for them. So they should be guided and pointed in the right direction.
With the means of guidance and counseling that we have in our various institutions, the students can be so guided as to what skills would be marketable.
That is the only way by which we can give hope to our young ones and the way to plan our development and economy.
Discussions at the meeting emphasized legislations on LMI system and determination of funding agencies to actualize a robust labor market information system in Nigeria. In Abuja.
And on religious matters, Muslims have been reminded on the need to make tolerance and peaceful coexistence their watchword. The message was at this year's Hijrah 1441 celebration organized by Oyo State National Council for Muslim Youths in Ibadan. Larry Belei has more.
Hijrah 1441, which marks the beginning of a new year for Muslim Ummah, is also the day Prophet Muhammad migrated from Mecca to Medina, preaching on the tolerance of Prophet Muhammad. Speakers at the Hijrah celebration in Oyo State noted that humility and love for peace made the Holy Prophet to leave Mecca at that time.
The arrival of the Muslims in Medina was actually an opportunity for Islam to spread
all over the world.
Whatever you do, and you don't want people to know that it comes from you, then you move away from it.
They urge Muslims, as a matter of necessity, to always pray for the progress of the country. Oyo State government pledged to always carry along all religious organizations in the state.
They should stop listening to people using religions to cause disharmony.
This year's Hijra celebration was marked by giving awards to prominent Muslims in the state. In Ibadan, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
Let's join Dibabari in Port Harcourt with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Dibabari.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. The Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder Port Harcourt has handed over 57 suspects and 7 vessels involved in alleged crude oil theft and illegal bunkering to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for investigation. The suspects were tracked down in separate sting operations by men of the Nigerian Navy within Onne or Kocheri waterways in Rivers State. Kingsley Amaju reports.
The suspects include 55 Nigerians, 1 Ukrainian and 1 Mexican, arrested with 5 ships, 2 wooden boats and 1 barge. Operatives of the NNS Pathfinder intercepted and arrested them between August 11 and August 25, 2019, while attempting to illegally transship stolen crude oil and adulterated petroleum products.
As at the time of arrest, the 7 vessels were laden with unspecified amounts of products suspected to be illegally refined HGO as well as stolen crude oil. Consequently, the vessels were towed to Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder Holding Bay here at FOT Onne for safe custody as well as investigation.
Operatives of the NNS Pathfinder handed the suspects and the exhibits to the EFCC to carry out further investigation and prosecution of those found culpable.
The commandant of the commission is we take over. After proper takeover, we assure you of diligent and prompt investigation.
The naval authorities say that point out to its dominance and crack down on economic saboteurs, warning the criminals to stay clear of the environment or face the wrath of the law. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
New NDDC Acting Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Akwagaga Legima Enya, has assumed office. At a brief ceremony at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt, Dr. Enya promised to work towards achieving the goal for which the Commission was set up. Emmanuel Lene reports.
Dr. Akwagaga Lelejima Enya is the new Acting Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), following the dissolution of the Professor Nancy Ibrahim Baifa-led Acting Board. As the most senior director at the Commission, Dr. Enya, who assumed duties at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt, was received by staff who were excited at one of their own at the hem of her face. At a press briefing, new NDDC Acting Managing Director Dr. Enya promised to work for the progress and achievement of the goals for which the Commission was set up.
I have been mandated to oversee the smooth running of the Commission until a substantive board is brought in and until there is office.
Interacting with the staff of the Commission, Dr. Enya, who promised to prioritize the welfare of the staff, solicited for teamwork to actualize the goals of the Commission. Dr. Akwagaga Lelejima Enya was the State Director, Edo State Office of the NDDC. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
The need to examine the operations and safety requirements of tricycle operators as alternative means of transportation to ensure safety and mitigate road crashes has been emphasized. Odein and Leo reports that this formed part of the 2019 tricycle training for operators in Cross River State with the theme Tricycle Rider and Operators Say No to Kidnapping, Traffic and Security Violation.
Prior to the introduction of tricycle into the transport system in Nigeria as an alternative means of transportation, the security risks posed by motorcycle was on the increase. The assumed advantage of tricycle has equally been abused as it has constituted security threats, hence the need for awareness for the operators.
They need to come the nearest led to the NDDC that they need to examine the operation and safety requirement to ensure that the safety of road, which forms the ultimate reason for the workshop.
The Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, represented by Ogbo Udob, urged tricycle operators to operate within the tenets of the law.
We will always ensure that whatever decision we take is in the interest of the people.
Stakeholders took turns to caution the tricycle operators to operate within the laid-down traffic regulations to avoid being banned. The 2019 tricycle training is the third in the series. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
We'll take some commercials. The news will continue with Ruth in Abuja. Good evening.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for staying tuned. Residents in Maiduguri dislodged by flood. Let's join Mohammed Abubakar Musa in our Maiduguri Network Center for details of this and more. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Ruth, and thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Borno State government has solicited more funding from the World Bank towards complementing efforts of government in uplifting the standard of living of people of the state. The deputy governor made the plea when officials of the World Bank Social Protection Unit paid him a visit. Yagum Subukar reports.
The World Bank Social Protection Office is in the state to assist communities that were destroyed by the insurgents. Appreciating the gesture, Borno State Deputy Governor Umar Usman Kadafur said Borno State government and the World Bank have always been partners in progress. He commended Borno State community as
Apologize for that technical hitch there. If we can fix that, we'll get back to Abubakar. Now, the establishment of the Cross River Pharmaceutical Company Limited in Calabar has enlisted the state among states in South Nigeria and the country as a whole, with the vision to reduce dependency on importation of pharmaceutical products. Curtailing poor access to quality drugs by healthcare providers is just another reason behind the birth of this enterprise under the Governor Ben Ayade's industrialization initiative. Paul Abel reports that the project, with more than 90% completion rate when fully operational, will also provide employment to hundreds of Nigerians.
In line with the federal government's prohibition on the importation of pharmaceutical products under the 2016 fiscal policy measures and to encourage local manufacturers, Kala Farm Nigeria Limited, now Cross River Pharmaceutical Company Limited, was established by the Cross River State Government to produce essential medicines listed by the World Health Organization (WHO) for primary health care with a focus on mother and child. Located at the Industrial Park, Calabar, the pharmaceutical company, which intends to produce millions of quality drugs and pharmaceutical products such as tablets, syrups, syringes, injections, vaccines, among others, will use modern production techniques to increase capacity utilization of plants. However, raw materials which will feed the industry will be imported because Nigeria does not have most of the chemicals needed to produce most of the drugs, though the medical works and packaging will be done in the country.
If that starts running, we can be sure that unemployment will be reduced, the cost of drugs will be reduced. It will benefit the perseverance in a very good way.
It is also expected that the first state-owned pharmaceutical company's products will reduce counterfeits and fake drugs in circulation, as well as serve health institutions up to the West African sub-region. Company Director Dan Michael is optimistic that the public-private partnership will cut costs and improve productivity in the future. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And from Calabar, let's go to Gombe. The United Nations is poised to drive accelerated improvement in areas that would help fast-track development in Nigeria. Now, this is part of discussion the Deputy Secretary General of the UN, Amina Mohammed, had with Governor Mohammed Inuwa Yahaya in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila reports.
Eye for Africa, Nigeria and Gombe State in attracting global development opportunities. Amina pointed out the machinery of the UN that would be used in driving home global support.
We will begin to look for investments in the economy, those that will look at infrastructure, that will create jobs, that will ensure it's inclusive, that we don't leave anyone behind, so that we can generate the revenues that can pay for basic services, health, education, water and sanitation.
The UN already has a development plan in the pipeline.
We will declare a decade of action from 2020 to 2030.
Governor Mohammed Inuwa Yahaya rolled out critical areas the state requires assistance from the global perspective on the platform of the UN.
From education to health to upliftment of the youth, especially women and our children, we are facing significant challenges. And with these scarce resources, especially for Gombe this time around,
Amina Mohammed was on a courtesy visit to Governor Mohammed Inuwa Yahaya while in her home state, in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And on a side note, the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, has condoled the family of the late veteran broadcaster Alhaji Bashir Samaila Ahmed, who died after a protracted illness. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the Director General's message was delivered by the Zonal Director, NTA Kaduna Network Center, Malam Mukhtar Abdullahi.
His condolence message, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed described the late ace broadcaster as a man of impeccable record who left an enduring legacy in the broadcast industry. The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority recalled with nostalgia the good old days of late Bashir Ismail Ahmed and the defunct Northern Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation. He said the deceased was able to carve a niche for himself within the shortest time in the media cycle. Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed prayed Almighty Allah to grant the deceased Jannatul Firdausi and his permanent resting place and the entire Samail Ahmed family the fortitude to bear the loss.
It's a loss to everybody, to all of us. So we pray, may Allah grant him Jannatul Firdaus and may his soul rest in perfect peace.
broadcasting icon that I don't think will be replaced in a very long time to come.
Mahim Ismail Ahmed thanked the Director General of the Nigeria Television Authority for the condolence and prayed for long-lasting corporate relationship. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NTA News.
May so rest in peace. And now to sports. The Nigerians, the Tigers, lost to Argentina in their second match of the 2019 FIBA Men's World Cup, held in China. Olumide Eguntala has this and more on our sports update.
Some experts attributed Nigeria's the Tigers' 81-94 loss to the Argentines to wrong technical and tactical approach adopted by the technical crew during game actions that created chances for the Argentines to make offensive rebounds.
Well, this is the best I've ever seen them play. Honestly, but we need more work.
They really prepared well. I don't really know what happened. They should just keep fighting, keep going. They shouldn't lose hope.
In continuation of his desire to discover and nurture future basketball stars to stardom, ex-international Olumide Oyedeji is adding values to the lives of children in Lagos through his annual basketball camp.
Try to develop them mentally, socially, intellectually, psychologically, in all aspects of life. You go beyond basketball, try to make them know that there's always life after sport.
In tennis, over 40 tennis players converged on the National Stadium, Lagos, to participate at the just concluded Mainland Tennis Club First Captain Tennis Championship. At the end of the championship, Ebube Agbasi and Ike Onwura defeated Tony Oshoke and Chike Ibe 2-1 to emerge champions.
I want to win this tournament, and I say, let's go for it. And we went for it. Here we are today.
I'm once the former Nigerian #1, and I have that initiative that I want to give back, and which way will I give back is through sport.
In another development, Bonju Baba of Togo retained his super light title belt at the 4th edition of Warrior Sport Championship held in Lagos. He was declared the winner when the challenger, Iswe Franklin, sustained an eye injury.
Je suis champion du WSC.
He said that the WFC title is very important to him.
It's a good step for Warrior Sports Championship, and we believe the next edition will be better than this.
The current national kickboxing champion, Ibukun Okpaje, defeated Tajuddin Lawal via technical knockout, while a civilian, Eniola Busari, defeated Pamela Akintayo of the Nigerian Army, among other prominent fights of the night. Sports update, Olumide Eguntala, NTA News.
It's raining presently in the nation's capital, but just before we go, let's take a look at the weather prospect for Tuesday. And that concludes Nationwide today. Thank you for being a part of it. Do have a pleasant evening. I am Ruth Aguele.